What actually prompted Europe's biggest armed conflict since World War II, a dispute that has so far claimed the lives of thousands of peaceful civilians? Well, Washington and the collective West have been telling you for months about unprovoked Russian aggression. However, it only takes a small effort and minimal research skills to find out that the current events have been years in the making. In 2014, the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics declared independence following a US-supported government coup in Ukraine. The new unelected Ukrainian government's response was to begin a so-called anti-terrorist operation against the self-proclaimed republics. Kiev's airstrikes, artillery shelling and ground troops started a barbaric war against peaceful civilians in Donbass who wanted nothing to do with a government that they did not see as representing them. Shortly after, the republics became a party to the Minsk Accords that outlined a peace roadmap as well as special status within the Ukrainian state. Most importantly, the agreement should have provided for a lasting ceasefire. It did not. Peaceful civilians continue to suffer.
Today, Ukraine can be happy and proud of its pilots, its civilized people who are engaged in such things.
My mom was killed. My dad was severely wounded. I sent him to the hospital.
Moscow stood firm, demanding Kiev fulfill obligations that it was breaking on a regular basis by shelling residential areas of Donbass. But as it turns out, Berlin and Paris could not care less about the agreements or the lives of the people of Donbass. The accords were nothing but a stalling tactic that allowed the West to pump Ukraine full of weapons.
The 2014 Minsk agreement was an attempt to give Ukraine time. Ukraine used this time to become stronger, as you can see today. The Ukraine of 2014-2015 is not the Ukraine of today.
Since 2014, Ukraine has strengthened its military posture. It is the merit of the Minsk agreements to have given the Ukrainian army this opportunity. Thus, the time that Putin thought was an asset for him turned out to be, in fact, an opportunity for the Ukrainians.
I needed the Minsk agreements to gain at least 4.5 years to build the Ukrainian forces, to build the Ukrainian economy, to train Ukrainian forces alongside NATO, to create the best armed forces in Eastern Europe, according to NATO standards.
So, wait, does this mean that the so-called peacemakers have been crying wolf all these years, while Russia actually sought a way for peace and for the Donbass Republics to remain a part of Ukraine? Take a listen and make up your own minds whether they were lying or telling the truth.
We have agreed that the Minsk agreements are what we need to achieve a peaceful solution. That's the only tool, and therefore we have to stick to them.
When Chancellor Merkel meets with President Putin, when I meet with the Ukrainian president and his prime minister, we have the same speech, the respect of the Minsk agreement. We say it with the same firmness to each party, because it is the condition for peace, the condition for a settlement.
The only thing we agreed on today with Mr. President is a clear and strict coordination of action on unconditional and rigorous following of all, without exceptions, clauses of the Minsk agreement.
While the world was eating up all this peace talk, the collective West